Hello guys, today we will be talking about Shaheen's 10 frame punishments. Basically, you have two ways of punishing 10 frame. You have 1-2 or 2-3. Usually you'd go for 2-3 because it gives you the most damage and great plus frames. And you can also transition into stealth stance for some shenanigans here. But why wouldn't you use 1-2-2? So I will explain to you the possibilities from each of these stances, and you will see that there is reason to use both ways. So first off, let's talk about the differences. If you use 2-3, you get the most damage, and you can transition to this stance if you want to. From this stance you have a couple of options, and I will go through them right now. Why not? So let's record something. Repeat action. So option number 1 is yes. You have the one extension, which is used to catch people who press buttons. Then you have the 2 extension, which also presses people who press buttons, but this extension is -9 on block. Then you have the 3 extension if your opponent is for some reason ducking, if you condition him to duck here, because he's expecting the jab, for example. Or, and this is another thing he might expect, he might expect you to do the knockdown low here. This can be used if your opponent hesitates. And if your opponent hesitates, you can also use this throw here. And this should explain his mix-up after going through the stance. Yeah. But usually you'd use this one because it does more damage. But let's see the benefits of using 1-2 as a punish. 1-2 is great because if you use 1-2, you can transition into his 1-2 jab strings. Your 3 options are as follows. You have 1-2-3. This here is good because it is actually safe on block. Guard all. So this string here is safe on block. But as you can see, these are 3 highs, so your opponent might want to duck, in which case you can use 1-2-3 here. But this here is -13. You can also use 1-2-2, which is also -11 and punishable. So basically you have this safe option, which you use to condition your opponent to maybe duck. And then you have the other 2 mid extensions. So how do you apply those mid extensions? So if you're in open field, you want to use this extension, 1-2-2. Okay, my dummy is a bit afraid of me, it seems. Oh, come on guy. Let's make it this easier for us. Multiple counter hits. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, the last hit in this string is a counter hit launcher. So you get really juicy damage here. This is really good in the open field. At the wall, I would recommend using, I will show you, 1-2-3. Because 1-2-3 wall splits. So at the wall, instead of using 1-2-2, you can use 1-2-3 to catch your opponent off guard. And you will get a juicy wall split here. Yeah, now we have it. So here you can see you can use 2-3 to go into stealth stance, or just for max damage, and you can use 1-2 to get these options. It really depends on what you're trying to set up. But in like no matter which one of these you use, you have a lot of other options after a 10 frame punish. Your main option, because in both cases you will have huge frame advantage, is to go for either a down forward 1 to check them up, so that they don't try to crush you or something. To keep them honest, you can do a down forward 2 after both options. You can of course step and see if they whiff something. You can apply a frame trap by using a magic 4. You can simply duck. I wouldn't duck, but sometimes ducking might help if you know your opponent is really spammy. You can simply backdash. And if your opponent starts to respect you and doesn't press any buttons, you can apply a low, more juicy low. You can go for a duck here. You can go for a throw. Just mix him up really good if he tries to stay defensive. And if he tries to stay defensive, you can also get more creative with your stance cancels here. But yeah, these should be like the main reasons, and how should I put it? I think now you understand what the benefits of his various punishers are and how to properly mix them up. It's really easy on paper, but in practicality you really have to use your brain to think of creative ways to mix your opponent up so that he gets nervous and presses into things, and you get your juicy magic 4 counter hits here. I hope you liked it, and we'll see each other in the next episode of Mr. Shaheen's Crazy Adventures.